Part, we are going to take the float bowl off. Put these back in the box, or in the things. So we're going to be taking the float bowl off. That's this bottom part. You're going to want to flip the carb upside down. You're going to want to get a, I believe this is a #1 Phillips. It's a small one. Make sure that you fit it before you do this so that you don't strip the bolts out. Okay, I am removing the Phillips screws out of here for the float bowl. I got one more, I believe. Okay, so now that we've got the carb opened up, you're going to want to make sure that you have no dirt in here. And the best way to do this, to drain the gas, put one corner in there and pull the float bowl off. Oof.
You can hear that fire burning.
I think that needs a clean. Okay. So we are now down to the interior of the bottom. So you might want to pause right here, Rob. Okay, so now we're going to be replacing the main jet, which is this one, and the pilot jet, which is this one. So your main is going to go there, your pilot's going to go down there. You're going to be using a 6mm socket. That's the easiest way to do this. You're just going to want to give it a little bit of a pull so it pops. I pre-loosened this one so it was easier. Just going to unscrew that one all the way, put it somewhere clean, and then install the new one. Make sure you don't cross-thread it. I think I am.
Yeah, you always want to be careful with carbs too, with you know, keeping all the parts clean, making sure your hands are clean. You don't want to get any dirt into that bowl and gunk it up.
Then you're just going to want to reverse your driver. And don't over tighten it, just give it a little bit, make sure it's tight there. And the easiest way to get to the pilot is to take that cleaning piece off. And to make sure when you put this back on that you have the slot over here. And I believe it was that direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so then we're going to want to take our small grade flathead and unscrew the pilot. It's slowly unscrew that, and then you should be able to hand screw it back in. Okay, so also should end up, once you're done, about angled here, your thread or your screwdriver pattern. Make sure you put that cover back on. And the best way to not have to do too much to the fuel screw is to just from here screw it all the way back in. I'm going to from here go 1.5 out.
If you guys want that 122, is that a main?
That's a main jet.
122 main jet. You can DM me on Instagram, Rob_Sizek, and it's like $3. And I don't think you guys would want it, but there's my Instagram. Hayden, you want to shout out your Instagram while you're at it?
I really don't care.
All right, his Instagram is what?
I don't know. I don't use Instagram enough to know.
All right, well, I'll find it, and his Instagram should be up on the screen if I have the time. Like
we're going to take the top end of the carb. Yes, the valve clearances. The top end of the carb off so that we can get to the needle and the other fun stuff in there.
Ooh.
You gotta clean it off first. Okay, so next we're gonna want to take the top end of the carb. Your float bowl is on the opposite end, so you're just gonna flip it around. Same screwdriver that we used before. You're gonna see that clip there. You're gonna take that one out. This basically is the engine. It opens up the chamber and it's a count. Carefully flip the carb over so I have that washer.
Yeah, always make sure to keep all the screws together so you don't lose them. Yep.
Okay, so the easiest way I've found to do this without taking too much apart is to put pressure on this piece and slowly pull the throttle out. Okay, so now that we've removed the, I don't even know what that's called. It's just basically the needle assembly. You're gonna have this open cylinder, and basically all we're gonna do is, to make this easy, usually you can take this middle spring out, but there are two Phillips heads down in there. You probably can't see them because it's so deep, but you're going to want to use the exact same screwdriver. This is going to be a very important part of it, so you need to be careful with this. Again, add pressure, but make sure that you don't bend that needle, because that would be an issue too. Okay, so now I'm going to take number 2 out. Okay, and then this should relieve the needle and the above assembly, which is this piece here. I don't know what again, we're not first class mechanics. So
yeah, we're amateur mechanics, so some of the parts we don't know what they're called. But most YouTubers that work on dirt bikes are amateur mechanics.
Okay, so we've looked into it, and the best way to adjust this is to put your finger with this spot facing down, push with one hand, and then push on the other end, the other finger, and it should pop right off. Now, what you're going to want to do now, make sure you do not bend this bent needle. And I express that because they're 15 bucks, and if you tear the carb apart and then you wait on a needle for days, it gets screwed up. Okay, so now you're going to want to take it, and you're going to go to what's the best way to do this? Second notch down. See, as shown, or second notch from the bottom up. You're going to take it. You're going to want to just push it back in with your fingers, and there you go.
Now, what notch was it at to start out with?
It was at stock, which is the middle. Okay, so now how to reassemble. You're going to want to take the needle with the clip end, take the spring, and just push it in there. Now, with the shorter end facing down, insert the needle into the middle hole and push that down into there. And now I'm going to want to screw your screws back in there. Okay, so now that you've gotten that needle put back in, you're going to make sure that this is over here. You're going to insert it like that. Line up the spring with the needle. And this is the hard part. So we have to get the screws back in there. This, since we took the throttle off and I really did not show how to do that. When you have this throttle here, you're just going to want to grab it, twist it, and literally just pull it, and it should pop right out. And then there's going to be a rubber O-ring on the inside of that. You're going to want to slowly reinsert your needle. Okay, now you're going to take this piece and slowly pull out the throttle. Oh!
Oh, dick.
That's why this would be nice to have a friend around.
Well, I'm filming. Initiate the time-lapse sequence. Alright guys, the bike is now tuned, and Hayden, why don't you go ahead and give it a start up? It's a lot louder now. Oh, we let it warm up for a couple minutes. See this thing run. Sounds good. Alright guys, so we're going to give you our final thought now.
We will do tests once we get better weather.
Jetting process and all, but this is with video recording too, so that added about an extra hour to 2 hours. But I'd say this process is about 3 to 4 hours, depending on what your mechanical level is of abilities. Our final for this cold weather we have outside was like 1.3 turns, so you turn it all the way to the right, then 1.3 out. So that means to the left.
Start at 1.5.
Yeah.
And work it, just like I said before.
And then we just adjusted our idle a little bit higher, and it runs perfect now. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please drop a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more garage type videos, comment down yes in the comments. And yeah, see you guys in the next video. Peace.